right now, we have a leader who is going to give the first presentation. She's in person, so we all appreciate Roz Carter. I remember Roz being a member when she was a member and when she was a leader, so all the way through. And her speech, fate means something that is desired to happen, destined to happen. All right, glasses time, I guess. I have to admit. Our speaker uses the acronym F.A.T.E. as fearless, ambitious, tenacious, and empowered. Fate brought out the next speaker into Toastmasters, which turned out to be her dreams into a vision that eventually became a reality. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster, qualified speaker, past district governor, and past regional advisor, Roz Carter. Roz?
Thank you. Thank you. Can you all hear me? Okay, we have a nice audience here, and I have to turn my head to take a look at the screen of all of the amazing Toastmasters here with us tonight. Hello, across the USA and perhaps the continent, right? Thank you for being here. Now, Tom introduced me and said, fate. As you can see right here on the podium, I have a different meaning for fate. Fate is like destiny. It's something that's going to happen. But who controls our destiny? You control yours, and I control mine. Nelson Mandela said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, the triumph over fear. Okay, courage. Took a lot of courage for me to drive through the canyon to get here and be in person, which I haven't done in about 3 years since the pandemic. I'm very comfortable in that little Zoom box, like some of our audiences. So I took a leap of faith and took courage, like the lion in The Wizard of Oz. And remember what the wizard told him? That courage was already inside of you. So what about fear and fate? How do they go together? I'm going to tell you how it impacted me, and hopefully you'll enjoy hearing about these 4 attributes that spell fate. How many of you are fearful? Every little thing scares you. Like a new speech, a new club officer position, a new job, or that interview that you've been putting in your head, I got to get this job. I've got to get this job. I know how difficult it is to be fearful. But let me tell you about fearless. I like to be around fearless people. I'm looking at some of you in the audience. You're fearless. You have guts. You're not afraid to try new things, right? I mean, Marcia's taking on a role of district director, and she's never done it before. Some of us have never stepped into a club officer or district officer position, but you have to be fearless and acknowledge that you have fear, because that's the first step. Acknowledge it and then confront it face on. Not that you don't have a little bit of fear in the back of your mind, Because sometimes we need to have a little fear to keep us cautious. Like if you're in a dangerous situation, you want to be able to run or scream, but you don't want to stand there without defending yourself. But we're not talking about danger or dangerous conditions. We're talking about that safe, pleasant environment called Toastmasters, right? Do you fear when you walk into a meeting? Is your hand going up? Do you fear when you walk into a meeting? Oh, I don't want anybody to come up to me. I don't want them to ask me a table topics question. And if they ask me to give a speech, will I say, I'm not ready? I'll let you know. They put off things because they're not fearless. Taking on a division director position, John, a leader position in the district, Suzanne, and Tom, running the Speakers Bureau, and everything else you've done over the last 50 years in district leadership. But we still see Tom because he knows that being fearless allows him to continue to grow. And I like that in myself. I like being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And why is that? Because you're telling yourself, I can do it. I can do it. Say, I can. Shout it out. I can. Say it, I will. Because yes, you can. Does that sound familiar? We have things that we put off, procrastinate, and say someone else will do it. But once you say I can, and I heard all of you say it, now you have decreased the chance of being fearful. You are now getting closer to being fearless. What about a mentor? Do you think a mentor might help you shake off that uncomfortableness? They could be like the world champion who said, I see something in you. And you know, that was just in 2014. And we still say it, we still think it, we still believe that somebody sees something in us. Our first mentors were our parents. And then they told us to spread our wings and move out. Maybe we weren't ready. But I'm pretty sure that most of you were ready. When you were 18, you wanted to get a job, you wanted to go away to college. I went all the way to Montana, not just to get away from my parents because they were pretty strict, but because I wanted to feel that sense of independence. I wanted to be fearless. I wanted to take a few risks and see, can I do it? Okay, Suzanne, tell me one risk that you've taken that you didn't think you'd ever do, but you came out on the other side triumphant.
Walked a marathon.
Suzanne said she walked a marathon, was fearful, and walked out fearless. So think in your mind, what is it that I've been afraid of? And what I can now do to become fearless. And it's okay to fail. You know, we have this Toastmasters environment that said it's okay to fail because you're in this safe environment. But it's also because you're being taught to do certain things that improves your confidence and allows you to have this mindset the mental exercise of breathing, thinking positive thoughts, and telling yourself, yes, I can. Telling yourself, I'm not going to give up because my destiny might take me over here, but being fearless, and the others I'll explain, allows you to stay put, stand tall, and be proud of everything you've achieved. Let's take a peek at the next one, ambitious. A is for ambitious. I see a lot of ambitious people here, and even on the screen. You know, those little busybodies that want to get involved with everything and say, come on, let's run a marathon with Suzanne. Let's go to the district conference or the international convention. Come on, don't be shy. You're going to learn something. Ambitious people are not afraid to take risk, not afraid to look at their goals and well define them. They don't just say, I'm going to graduate from college. Well, when? Where are you going? Do you have a game plan of the classes you're going to take towards the degree you want? Ambitious people lay it all out and they know exactly what's going to happen. Their roadmap to success, it's probably been written since they were in high school. Were you like that, Tom? He's doing this. That's a yes and a no. And that's okay, Tom, because look at how far you've come today. I said yes, no, many times. And it's okay. But I was ambitious because I surrounded myself with like-minded people just like me or what I wanted to be with ambitious. What do you think is the opposite of ambitious, John? No clue? Okay, I'll give you a hint. Yes. And it's someone who says, I have no clue. Actually, the opposite of ambition is lazy. How many of you know lazy people? Maybe you were once a little lazy, said, no, I don't feel like doing that. Don't ask me to show up somewhere where I don't want to go. What about the Zoom screen that I referred to earlier? Don't ask me to drive in a car to go someplace that's so far away, I might get lost. You mean I can't wear my pajamas behind the Zoom screen? Yeah, I know some of you do that because you're comfortable. But take a look at the people that are ambitious. I'm sure you could think of many, especially in Toastmasters, but maybe on your job. They were looking for that promotion. They were looking to achieve a degree to help elevate themselves to another level, something that they've always wanted. When I earned my degree, it was just for me. It wasn't for anyone else. It wasn't even to get a promotion on the job. I wanted to finish my degree because it took me 30 years to complete. I went to college 1 year after high school, and then I became a family person. Don't judge those who want to stay home, raise their children, take care of their family and their spouse, and maybe even their parents are living with them. Everyone has priorities, but now, after everyone's grown up and out of the house, well, they weren't kicked out, but they got older, and it was time for them to move out. So I said, I wonder if I could go back to college. And I did. Another pat on the back, because that was a sense of achievement. I was ambitious enough to do it at an older age and still get my bachelor's degree. So I am so excited about that. And then someone had the nerve to ask me, so what about a master's or a doctorate degree? I said, whew, are you kidding? I did good getting my bachelor's, and I'm happy and satisfied with that. Ask me in 100 years if I need a master's degree, and I might have an answer for you. So now let's take a peek at tenacious. You know, those little people that are so determined to get everything done and it's got to be in certain order. Well, I'm kind of like that. I like things organized. I want everything to be done well. I'm not afraid to ask all the right questions. Well, they're right questions in my mind, but I think if I asked you or you or you some questions, you would probably have an answer for me. And if you didn't, hopefully you're resourceful enough to find the answer, right? So these tenacious people, there's an opposite meaning for them too. Anybody want to take a guess? Remember McFly in Back to the Future? What did the principal call him? A slacker. They're afraid. They're even weak-minded and tell themselves they can't, so therefore they won't. Tenacious people say, I can, I will, and I want to hang out with you. I see something in you. I want to grow and learn with you. Why wouldn't we want to hang around people like that? I don't want to hang around with slackers, people who just don't want to do anything for themselves, let alone have followers and grow others' potential. I want you to find something in me that I might be able to share with you, teach you, and I want to learn from you as well, because it works both ways, doesn't it? Sometimes we have to bounce things off of each other, and we never work alone in Toastmasters. We work as a team. And if you haven't tried the Pathways Educational Program path called Team Collaboration, I encourage you to try it. I finished that, and I was able to expand my knowledge and grow exponentially because I was working with teams on projects. I did not have to make every decision alone. And don't you dare try, Marcia. District director especially, don't work alone. Tom and Connie and Suzanne, you know already how much it means to work with others, because somewhere somebody's going to hear something or do something, and they're going to say, I want to do that too. So now you've branched into succession planning. Now you've shown people what you learned, the mistakes you made when you fell and got up, or were picked up by your team members and fellow Toastmasters, or at work, if you might have done something that was classified as failure. You had a mentor or a supervisor or a coworker that said, I can get that done for you, or I can show you a better way. Wouldn't you rather have someone show you how to do it than to do it for you, like the slackers. The tenacious people take on that role because they're fearless and they are ambitious. So therefore, they're tenacious. And there is nothing wrong with being determined and persistent to get something done and be willing to do it to succeed. Now, let me tell you about this one. Empowered. What do you think the opposite of empowered is? John?
Empowered, the opposite will be dependent.
Excellent. John said dependent. Empowered, he's got Google out. Okay, that's fine. That's why Google exists, right? To help us along, find the right words. Now, don't start talking about AI and Chat GPT. I'm not ready for that yet. Sometimes we have to be empowered in order to just make a simple step across the stage. We're not pushed or knocked over by those ambitious people to say, I could do it better, and don't even show you. Empowered is taking you to the next level. When I was in the district trio before, I met tons of people from around the world because we're in this wonderful international organization. You can't deny the friendships that are built over the years. And you see that gentleman that's international president this year? Would you believe, and Matt, I know you will remember, we were in the district trio together for our districts at the same time. It was called Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, now Club Growth. Lieutenant Governor of Education and Training, now Program Quality Director. And District Governor, wow. And now, when I look at Matt Kinsey, international president, he has gone above and beyond what I thought I could do. But he is a role model for me, because as he was moving up beyond the district level, I dipped my toes into being a region advisor. Now that's an exciting adventure. I'm the only one in District 12 who could say I'm a past region advisor. And I want everyone to think about it. The only requirement is that you were a past district director. Because you have to serve that extra year after you are in the district director role. One more year, immediate past, you got a few things you need to do to help your district. And after that, you can move on to region advisor, international director, and even international president, like my friend Matt Kinsey. I am so proud of Matt to see how far he's gone. And I know that there are many others aspiring to do that. Don't take yourself for granted. Don't cut yourself out of the loop of being fearless, ambitious, tenacious, and empowered. I hope that when you look at the word fate, F-A-T-E, you remember this. Just like you remember the Toastmasters promise. When you joined Toastmasters, you agreed and you promised that you would do everything that you are required to do as a Toastmasters member, support your club, engage in leadership activities, and bring along some friends and family to join, because membership is not just for one person or one club officer to be responsible for. Every member is responsible for building their club until they have run out of resources and they've tried everything. And sometimes a club may need to close. But the members are still Toastmasters and they can join other clubs. And Suzanne and I are experiencing some of that with one of our clubs. And it's kind of painful, isn't it, to see your club membership go? But we're in good company because there's other Toastmasters around the world and their clubs that are experiencing something similar. What can you do about it? Tell them to be fearless, ambitious, tenacious, and empowered. Tell them don't give up. Tell them to keep their Toastmasters promise. Tell them to look at leadership as an extension of themselves, since they graduated from high school or college, and now they're pursuing something for themselves to help others. Would you like to walk with me?
Yes.
I have someone here. Why don't you come down for a minute? And I believe everyone else in the room would probably walk with you. But we're going to walk hand in hand and teach others that. What club are you in?
Coffee and Toastmasters.
Coffee and Toastmasters member. Well, take a look at your member here. We're going to walk together through this journey. And whatever you do, I will support you. We can have a mastermind group together and talk out all the details and the challenges about what each other is facing. And we'll help each other. We'll make each other accountable, right?
Yes.
Are you pursuing a leadership position?
Yes, I am.
Which position?
Right now, I'm not for sure.
President.
Someone said you need to be club president. Who's that? Okay, consider it and we'll support you. And I'll be knocking on your door to make sure you're accountable for your step into leadership. Thank you so much for walking with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Now, for the rest of you, don't be shy. John, I'm surprised you didn't run down here and knock me down. Or Tom. Tom, I have him to blame. Almost every step that I've taken in district leadership, it's his fault. Because he said kind words like, you could do it. I will show you the way if you will go the way with me. I want to surround myself with people like that and continue the journey. And by the way, being region advisor is awesome. Don't let me be the only one in District 12 to carry that title, okay? I'm going to see if I could help you become that when you work your way through district leadership, okay? You can, it's a promise. Anyone else have a goal or something they're afraid of or need a few more nudges to make fate live inside of you? Why did you raise your hand, Marcia? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing something that we work so hard to achieve. I believe you will not fail, Marcia, if you follow this. Does any of it resonate with you to tell yourself, I will not fail? I can do it. And guess what? There's a lot of other people that I could bring on board and walk with to get to the success level that I want to bring to my district. May I make a final suggestion? When you wake up every morning, some of us pray, some of us read affirmations. I can, I will, I want. There are no negative words in that. Push away the negativity, raise the positive, have that positive self-talk to yourself every morning, and go out and have a wonderful, productive day, because fate is on your side. And Toastmasters is where leaders are made.